Hello everyone. The Union Budget for 2024 is to be tabled in the Parliament on 23rd of July. It is said to be a significant event shaping the economic landscape of the country for the coming fiscal year. As the government prepares to unveil its financial plan, there is a widespread anticipation and speculation about the potential measures and reforms that will be introduced. So आइए समझते हैं कि यूनियन बजट क्या होता है। इस साल की शुरुआत में जो इंटरम बजट आया उसमें गवर्नमेंट की क्या प्रपोजल्स और स्कीम्स लाई थी और अब आने वाले बजट में देश की आम जनता क्या एक्सपेक्ट कर सकती है अपनी गवर्नमेंट से। Let's start with the basics. The Union Budget is presented annually by the Finance Minister of India, outlining government's revenue and expenditure for the fiscal year. It is a crucial policy document that influences various sectors of the economy and impacts the lives of millions of citizens. और इस साल का बजट भारत के लिए काफ़ी इम्पोर्टेंट है क्योंकि हमारा देश इस साल बहुत सारी नेशनल एंड इंटरनेशनल प्रॉब्लम्स जैसे पोस्ट पैंडेमिक रिकवरी, इजराइल हमास वॉर, यूक्रेन रशिया वॉर, अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट, क्लाइमेट चेंज और भी कई सारी प्रॉब्लम्स के बीच में से निकलकर डेवलपमेंट के लिए बनाया जा रहा है। सो लेट्स ट्राई एंड अंडरस्टैंड कि कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बेसिस क्या है बजट का। अकॉर्डिंग टू आर्टिकल 112 ऑफ द इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, द यूनियन बजट ऑफ अ ईयर इज रेफर्ड टू एज द एनुअल फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट. It is a statement of the estimated receipts and expenditure of the government in a fiscal year, which begins on 1st April of the current year and ends on the 31st March of the following year. In Parliament, the budget goes through 6 stages. The first stage is the presentation of the budget, then a general discussion is held, then a scrutiny by departmental committees is done, then a voting on demand for grants, then the passing of appropriation bill, and finally the passing of financial bill. एक सवाल जो जहन में आता है कि वो कौन से फंड्स हैं जिससे बजट बनता है, तो चलिए समझते हैं फंड्स के बारे में. सो द फंड्स दैट आर रिलेटेड टू बजट इन इंडिया आर फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट इज द कंसोलिडेटेड फंड ऑफ इंडिया. इट इज मेंशन्ड इन आर्टिकल 266 क्लॉज 1 ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन दैट सेज it consolidates all revenues, loans and loan repayments received by the union government into a single fund known as the Consolidated Fund of India. Then the second fund is the Public Account of India. It is mentioned in the similar article but clause number 2, and it includes incoming money from the Provident Fund, small savings, postal deposits, etc. Then the third fund is the Contingency Fund Act 1950 that established the Contingency Fund of India, and it operates as an imprest in according to Article 267 clause 1. It serves the purpose of offering advances to the government for unforeseen expenditure during the fiscal year. Now let's try and understand the budget from the viewpoint of economy as a whole. So the overall budget contains estimates of revenue and capital receipts, ways and means to raise the revenue, estimates of expenditure, details of the actual receipts and expenditure of the closing fiscal year, and the reason for any deficit or surplus in that year, and the economic and financial policy of the coming year, that is the taxation proposals, prospects of revenue, spending program, and introduction of new schemes and projects. The budget division of the Department of Economic Affairs in the Ministry of Finance is the nodal body responsible for preparing the budget. I hope कि अब आप लोग बजट के बारे में थोड़ा बहुत समझ चुके होंगे. तो अब हम ये देखते हैं कि इस साल इंटरम बजट जो कि फरवरी में आया था उसमें क्या वेलफेयर और डेवलपमेंट मेजर्स आए थे. बट उससे पहले ये जानते हैं कि इंटरम बजट क्या होता है और इसका पर्पस क्या है. So the purpose of the interim budget is to ensure the continuity of government expenditure and essential services until the new government can present a full-fledged budget after taking the office. It is mentioned under Article 112 of the Indian Constitution, and it covers a specific period, usually a few months, until a new government is formed and a full budget is presented for providing continuity in governance during the transition period between two governments. अब देखते हैं इस साल इंटरम बजट को. कुछ मेजर हाइलाइट्स इंटरम बजट की ये हैं. फर्स्ट है विजन ऑफ बजट वाज विकसित भारत बाय 2047, अ स्ट्रैटेजी फॉर अमृतकालीन बजट 2024. सेकंड मेजर हाइलाइट वाज द डेवलपमेंट मंत्र ऑफ द बजट, एंड इट वाज सबका साथ, सबका विकास एंड सबका विश्वास, एंड दिस वाज इन लाइन विद द फिलॉसफी टू कवर ऑल एलिमेंट्स ऑफ एक्सक्लूसिविटी, बोथ द सोशल एंड द ज्योग्राफिकल इंक्लूसिविटी. नाउ द थर्ड मेजर हाइलाइट वाज द focus area of the budget, and there were particularly 4. The first one was Garib, second was Mahilaएं, third was Yuva or Amrit Pidhi, fourth was Annadata. The fourth major highlight was tax proposals that were made in the earlier budget were continued in this as well. For example, certain tax benefits to startups and investments made by the sovereign wealth funds and the pension funds, and tax exemption of some IFSC units were extended up to 31st March of 2025. Now, the fifth major highlight was the growth rate predictions. So, the government has estimated a nominal growth rate of 10.5% in 2024-2025. That is the real growth plus the inflation, which is equal to the nominal GDP growth rate. सो अब तक हम इंटरम बजट को समझ चुके हैं, हम बजट की बेसिक समझ चुके हैं, उसका कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल एंड इकोनॉमिक एस्पेक्ट समझ चुके हैं। अब आइए ये जानते हैं कि कल जो बजट आने वाला है उसमें क्या क्या वेलफेयर और डेवलपमेंट मेजर्स आम जनता एक्सपेक्ट कर सकती है। सो बेसिकली सम ऑफ द की सेक्टर्स टू वॉच आउट फॉर द फर्स्ट इज द एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर। एज वी ऑल नो, एग्रीकल्चर इज द बैकबोन ऑफ इंडियन इकोनॉमी, employing a significant proportion of the population. The 2024 budget is expected to introduce measures to support farmers, improve agriculture productivity, and enhance rural infrastructure. And initiatives may include increased allocation of irrigation projects, subsidies for fertilizers, and incentives for adopting modern farming techniques. The second major area is infrastructure development. The budget is likely to prioritize investments in the transportation, energy, and digital infrastructure. Projects aimed at enhancing road and rail connectivity, expanding renewable energy capacity, and promoting digital inclusion are to be anticipated. The third major sector is the healthcare. The pandemic underscored the importance of a robust healthcare system. The 2024 budget is likely to allocate substantial resources to strengthen healthcare infrastructure, expand access to medical services, promote public health initiatives, and many more. Emphasis on the research and development in the healthcare sector, along with support for vaccine production and distribution, is to be anticipated. The fourth major area is the technology and innovation. It plays a pivotal role in driving economic growth. The budget may introduce policies to support startups, encourage R&D, and promote digital transformation across industries. Incentives for adopting emerging technologies such as the AI, the blockchain, and the Internet of Things are to be expected. Taxation policies are a critical component of the union budget. The 2024 budget is expected to focus on simplifying the tax structure, widening the tax breaks, and improving compliance. Measures to provide relief to individual taxpayers and business, especially small medium enterprises, are anticipated. And potential reforms in the GST framework may also be the agenda. Another important area for the budget 2024 is the subsidies and the welfare scheme. The government is likely to continue its focus on the social welfare scheme and subsidies aimed at supporting vulnerable sections of the society. Programs related to food security, employment generation, and affordable housing are expected to receive a significant attention. Now that we have come to the end of our video, let's try and summarize and at the same time understand what the future budget would do for a country. This budget lays the foundation for a future of sustained growth, social equity, and financial resilience. By prioritizing the key sectors, fostering innovation, and ensuring fiscal prudence, the government could aim to create a thriving economy that will benefit all the citizens. Together, through careful planning and collective effort, the government can navigate the challenges and seize the opportunities that lie ahead, building a brighter and more prosperous future for our nation.